Hi, and welcome to Pam Branch Designs. Today I'm going to upcycle this napkin holder that I bought at a thrift store. I thought it would be cool to redesign this napkin holder so it would match the decor in my husband's man cave. Now it came with these seeds inside, but I figured I could just pop the seeds out and then reuse the glass frame and decoupage it with an image that would reflect my family and the year my husband and I were married. Because this frame is partly glass, I'm trying to be really careful as I'm popping it out of the frame. I certainly don't want to break the glass and hurt myself. So the first thing I'm going to do is clean up the frame. There's some stickiness on the frame, and there's also some price tags still on it. It was only like $1.09 at a thrift store. I'm using some Goo Gone and a little elbow grease to get the stickiness off. And then after I do this, off camera, I kind of washed the entire thing with a bit of Dawn dish soap and then rinsed it. And then I worked on the project. The funny thing is, I was on Amazon a few weeks ago looking for a napkin holder because I wanted to find one that I could decoupage so I could put, personalize it. And then when I was in the thrift store walking around and saw this one, I thought it was odd that it had the seeds in the glass, but I just figured I could repurpose it and make it personalized and make it my own. If you follow my channel, you know I've been using some of these pieces of wood flooring that were left over from my father-in-law's flooring project in different upcycles. I thought about using that, but it was a little too thick. I really wanted to have something that would sit inside the napkin holder and sort of have a smooth finish. I decided to decoupage the glass side and then put that in because I didn't want that edge of the glass to be exposed. So I decided I would decoupage the glass so the glass will be facing out. In the future, if I decide to just change the design, I'll pop it back out, flip it around, and maybe decoupage the other side and just cover up the glass with masking tape to make it safe. So right now what I'm doing is I'm just pouncing some chalk paint on the glass, and then I'm going to do 2 coats of that. Now while that's drying, I'm going to just go over the napkin holder with a little bit of furniture marker because I want the lines to be sort of sleek and not roughed up like, something shabby chic or farmhouse. Our decor in our house is more like industrial modern, and I wanted this napkin holder to be more finished looking, even though I don't mind it having a few dents and bangs in it. So I found these furniture markers, and I tried this darker brown first, and I tried to use it like a stain, and then after I marked it, I tried to wipe some of it away. But it still seemed a little bit too dark. So that's when after I tried this one, I grabbed one of the lighter markers, and that one seemed to work a little better. This one seemed to be a little too red for this color of wood.
Are you going to get to the point? We need to preserve our empire, or else it will crumble. You know that as well as I. Napoleon and Queen Victoria laugh at us, and
I thought this marker was a better match.
do you know the people like me?
So basically I'm going to just go around the perimeter of the napkin holder, and just any places where it's kind of scuffed up or missing stain, I'll just go over it with the marker. And if too much of the marker goes on to the napkin frame, then I'll just wipe it away with the cloth. Now, I haven't shown you the image just yet, but the image that I'm using in this project, I made it on Kittl. And it is a nice program where you have different logos and graphics where you can create your own using their templates. It's kind of like Canva, except the feel is a little different with respect to the graphics. So I'm not doing this as a tutorial for Kindle because I'm just learning how to use it myself. But if you're interested in the template that I used for this graphic, leave a comment below and then I'll direct you to which template I used. So now I'm just fitting this seed seed packet. I probably shouldn't call it that. This glass frame. I'm just fitting it back in just to get a sense of the placing of the paper onto the glass. Just cutting off some excess paper so it'll be easier to work with. So I like the position of the paper here. I had to play around with it just a little bit. So because I don't want to pull this back out in order to adhere the paper, I'm going to just dab a little bit of glue on the outside of the paper. Since it's rice paper, it's rather porous. So the glue is definitely going onto the glass and adhering the paper just a little bit to hold it in place so that I can pull this glass frame back out and then use my Mod Podge to glue the paper in place. So what I'm using is matte Mod Podge, and I'll just use that on the base there and then gently rubbing the paper down, and I'll do that over the entire surface until it's completely adhered. So now that that's completely adhered, I'm going to put a layer of Mod Podge over the top. And then once that dries, I'll give it a spray of Mod Podge Gloss Acrylic Sealer just to seal in the entire image. So now that everything's dry, I'm just playing around with the embellishments on the frame. I had some leftover chain from my jewelry making, and I thought maybe I could put that on the corners, and then I played around with some wire, and I thought maybe I could use that. So in the end, you'll see what I ended up using. But in the meantime, what I'm doing here is using some hot glue so I can adhere the this glass frame back inside of the napkin holder. I really wanted to adjust it over to the right just a little bit, but once that hot glue is on there, it's on there, and there's really no wiggle room. So I think it looks fine. And so now what I'm doing is I'm using a bead cap and I'm flattening it out so I can use that as a little embellishment on the napkin holder. And of course, everything I did in this project, I did on both sides. And so now I'm just going to add a bead just to add a little shimmer, just to embellish the napkin holder just a little more. Well, this was really a fun project. I wasn't really sure at first which paper I was going to use to decoupage inside the napkin holder, but I really liked the way this turned out. If you have questions, please leave them below, and please consider joining my Facebook decoupage group. There's a link below. Thanks so much for watching.